Hello everyone. The other day, I did something that I don't really do anymore. I went on Twitter. And when I was there in this shithole of a website, I clicked on my notifications, and I saw that someone, some time ago, has tagged me in a thing. I don't have the tweet right in front of me, but they really wanted me to make the video that I'm doing today. And you know, here it is. That's kind of something that gets you thinking sometimes, you know? People being like, yeah, radioactive paint, this is a perfect topic for Evil Pinely to cover. You know, it makes you wonder, not in a bad way, but it's like, what if how did I get here? You know? I'm the guy now, this is my brand. I'm the guy who, like, you know, it's to be expected that he would talk about the radioactive paint TikTok drama. And they're right, I am. So, okay, let's take it back a little bit. Let's take it back as I cover this story, as I fulfill the prophecy that I will talk about this. So this is Brush with Becca, a content creator that makes videos such as this.
This is one of the deadliest paint mysteries I've ever come across, but since I'm a bit of a spooky girly, consider it an early Halloween present, because this color ended up being a lot more toxic than I thought it would be.
A Brush with Becca does these videos, that involve all this crazy paint. Using old paint, mixing crazy shit with paint. Some may say that she goes hard on the paint. That's a song.
This is the oldest man-made color in existence. But although it's quite beautiful, it's also highly toxic. So let's make some—
A lot of the paint in action here is toxic, apparently.
Listen to your old paint, and I'll tell you all about Egyptian blue. After we get masked up, of course. So this is Egyptian blue.
I'm not gonna show the whole video here, but it's pretty interesting stuff. I've checked out some of it. Pretty interesting. So yeah, I guess now we're gonna watch the video that started it all.
I just made the world's most radioactive paint.
I do this surprised noise with my mouth, like every now and again in a video. And every single time, it just goes too deep into the back of my lungs.
But oddly, the radiation in this paint is the least concerning thing about it.
So here we can see Yellow Cake by United Nuclear.
This is Yellow Cake, and despite its delicious sounding name,
It does sound delicious. Is it a sort of cheesecake, perhaps? Is it a sort of delicious sponge cake? That's what I imagine. I think when I hear Yellow Cake, I imagine a sponge cake. A really nice one.
Actually just a more refined version of elemental uranium. And although this does technically contain uranium-235, which is the uranium that was used in the first atomic bombs, it's actually 99% the isotope uranium-238.
Yeah, I understand everything that's being said here right now. Do not attempt. Uranium is extremely toxic and can easily cause death. Jesus Christ.
A completely different kind of uranium that actually doesn't really undergo nuclear fission very much, which is what made the atomic bomb so powerful. Oh, but don't worry, it can still kill you, just probably not from radiation.
From like slipping and falling and hitting your head. Accidentally spilled some uranium on your floor, you know, it happens all the time. Slip and it bump your head. That's what can probably lead to death.
And uranium is a heavy metal, which means it's extremely difficult for your body to get rid of when you've ingested it. And this accumulation of heavy metals in your system can cause total organ shutdown and nervous system failure, along with a bunch of other fun stuff. So this is a cake you should probably avoid.
Well, that's the video. I had to show the whole thing for you guys so you understand. Sadly, this is a cake you have to avoid. It looks delicious, you know, like if you agree. It looks delicious. Let me know in the comments. Would you eat Yellow Cake uranium? Would you do it? Don't. But you know, if it didn't kill you, if you could remove that element of it, would you eat it? Okay, so now we're gonna get into the response here. I think something I should just be completely upfront about. We did some research here, we looked into this, but on the most fundamental level, it's important for me to state, I'm not an expert on any of this stuff. So I'm gonna navigate through all of this. There's some scientific shit people are talking about here. I'm gonna navigate through this to the best of my ability, but you know, you should like actually read stuff yourself. So this video is by Argon Masters. That's the video that kicked this off. So Argon's responding to a comment here saying, wait, all this fuss because someone makes paint? I'm sorry, I wish I could understand. I'm trying to understand. Can you explain it like I'm 5, please? So she talks about Paint Lady, you know, all the paint that's being made out of toxic stuff. And now the new development, the Yellow Cake uranium pigment.
Now this is a terrible idea for many reasons. The main one is, at this point you are officially dealing with not only a radioactive material, but an extraordinarily toxic, hazardous material, and she didn't really have any safeguards in place to be able to monitor her environment or herself after, which means there is a potential it has spread.
So basically, this video is claiming that Paint Lady has contaminated the area with yellow cake uranium. I accidentally went to the front page and it says, Brush with Becca wants to sue me. So then this is another video by Argan. Don't worry about how I'm wearing a different thing now. It's another video. Let's watch this.
For the first time in my life, I had to report somebody to the NRC.
Argan had to report the Paint Lady to the NRC. What does that mean?
This person decided to make paint out of yellow cake uranium. But that's not what this video is about. It's about the respirator. I've done some digging. This respirator's the wrong shape. These carts? I don't know what kind of cart that is, but I think those are vapor carts. The thing about respirators is the cartridges are targeted to a specific hazard. And if you're wearing the wrong one, all you've done is increase your work time around the hazard because it reduces your work efficiency.
Well, is this the most out of my depth that I've been here? You're gonna get at the end of this some actual research stuff that was looked up. You're gonna get that. But at this point, I am out of my depth. I work in construction, and those are specifically used for cement dust. Just talked to her, already reported to the NRC. She's worked with what she thinks is a radioactive material twice in the same lab coat. Surely she should be wearing disposable, at least. And once it was a red powder in her lab coat. Not even a lab coat, I suspect. And this person says, yellow cake has the same radioactivity as it does in the mines. It's a step before enrichment. Little to no danger unless you eat it or wear it on your body. Her videos also make a point about protection.
Well, that was fast. The NRC has received your concern. Based on your description, we were able to determine that this individual is located in Utah, which is an NRC agreement state, meaning the state regulates the use of radioactive materials. The NRC will pass your concern on to the state of Utah. I sent an email late last night. They got back to me today, and they found out where she lived. It was that fast. Okay, Utah. Ball's in your court.
All right, now we're going to see a response video from Utah. Reddit seems to love her. We're going to talk about Reddit as well. They said it's low-level radiation, so it's fine. The thread also said you're being a Karen because it's legal and safe. I live in Utah. What is going on? Radioactive stuff. Don't worry about it, though. Evil Pineley's on the case. And then Argan made another video. I don't see what the big deal is. It'll only affect her negatively.
Because that's the problem. Her workspace appears common. Other people in that area could get cross-contaminated. She could track the contamination. She could have it on her hands. It's not just her, it's anyone around her.
Okay, so that's what these videos are. So far, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just here for the ride. Radioactive paint drama. This is what life's about. But I am fascinated about this. Anyways, after this, there was like some big Reddit thing where, the people of Reddit, the general Reddit consensus was actually on the side of Becca, saying that this isn't really that big of a deal. So it's a post, we can see it right here. TikTok creator made yellow cake paint and got reported to NRC. So from what I gather, I'm gonna guess that she won't get in trouble. She used yellow cake to make paint, but it reminded me of this video I saw recently where Nile Red talks about the regulation behind making uranium glass, and apparently you can work with radioactive compounds as long as it's not using the compounds for the properties of radiation specifically. This creator has worked with multiple other dangerous materials in the past in a safe manner, from arsenic green to cyanide blue. Their videos are informative and well put together. This is totally legal and probably not all that unsafe. They put a warning in the videos and just made some paint with readily available uranium yellow cake. What's the fuss about? This is on r/radiation, by the way. That's good. That's good that there's a subreddit for that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as long as you don't enrich uranium and or purchase enriched uranium, you're allowed to utilize it however, even if it's questionable and negligent. You see fit. I own the exact uranium yellow cake used in this video. Why do so many people have uranium yellow cake? Can you guys let me know in the comments? Do you own uranium yellow cake? I don't think the NRC can do much except maybe confiscate it, but even then the OP purchased it from a commercial website that follows proper protocol. So Becca responded to this whole thing on the Reddit as well. This is Becca, aka A Brush with Becca, the chick who made this paint. Thank you so much for what you said here. If anyone is curious, everything I did in this video was perfectly legal and extremely thoroughly researched before I attempted it. The mask and PPE, personal protection equipment, I googled it, etc. were all regulation as well. So kind of addressing that video saying that it's not regulation, that it's a bad one to use for you. For this. I'm not going to be posting any sort of response video or engaging with this creator, but man, I really appreciate people's support I've gotten from this, and rest assured, all cleanup was extremely thorough. So yeah, thank you so much to everybody. It seems like the response to this as well was very positive. Now, my incredible researcher brought me this article from the International Atomic Energy Agency talking about yellow cake. Gather around the campfire as I talk about uranium. Most uranium is shipped as yellow cake because it is more cost effective than transporting unrefined uranium ore. Although yellow cake poses little radiation hazard, it still requires safe handling. From a safety perspective, only basic radiation protection measures are necessary. So it truly seems, again, I might get some people disagreeing with me in the comments, but you're not really disagreeing with me. You're disagreeing with something I read. But generally, it seems like this isn't that big of a deal, right? It seems like sometimes people see someone talking about a thing on TikTok and they seem like they have authority and then they believe it. No, I don't know a lot about organs. I don't know what authority they have or don't have, but I'm just talking about the public's response to this, you know? Hell, you know, I get very easily convinced if someone's confident enough in what they say, especially if it's through a video. But, you know, seems like it really isn't all that cut and dry. So eventually Becca did respond to all of this, and here it is. Let's read it. Hello everyone. As you may be aware, there's been quite a bit of controversy in the past couple of weeks concerning my use of yellow cake uranium in a video here and on YouTube and Instagram. I know I've been absent here on TikTok for a bit. Please know that I hear you, I appreciate your concern, and I'm working with several radiation and nuclear energy experts in crafting a video response. So, you know, Becca's bringing in some serious people here. Special thanks to this guy, nuclear expert and professor of chemical nuclear engineering, and another person who's a founder of Radiation Research LLC. I'm so here for you. That's nice. This is the very last update I have on this. Argon posted this video. Becca is apparently wanting to sue me for saying "if" a lot. I hope this message finds you well. My name is Becca, the creator behind A Brush with Becca. I'm reaching out regarding the numerous videos you have posted about me on TikTok and other platforms which contain false and defamatory statements about my work and character. While I respect your right to express your opinions, the content you have published about me crosses a legal and ethical line. Specifically, your claims that I've created multiple Superfund sites, poisoned water systems, or committed other serious crimes are factually incorrect and have been debunked by multiple experts. I'm formally requesting that you 1. Immediately remove all videos and posts containing false or defamatory statements about me, cease creating and sharing any further content that references me or my work in a defamatory or misleading manner. 3. Issue a public and permanent apology for conjecture, false claims, misleading use of data, and harassment. I would prefer to resolve this matter amicably and without further escalation. However, if you do not comply with this request, I will have no choice but to explore all available legal remedies, including pursuing a defamation lawsuit to protect my rights and seek compensation for the harm you have caused. Please confirm within 7 days that you have taken the requested actions. I'm happy to provide you with the contact information for the experts and authorities who have confirmed the inaccuracy of your claims, should you wish to verify this information. I hope we can resolve this matter quickly and respectfully. Sincerely, Becca. A Brush with Becca. Well, that's the video. This took so many twists and turns, you know. Thank you for sending this to me. For further, you know, in future times, for future references, I've pretty much abandoned Twitter. So please, you know, my Instagram, I've pretty much abandoned that as well, but I go on it more than I do Twitter. I go on my Instagram like twice a year now. But, you know, this took a lot of twists and turns. I hope these people figure it out. But I hope we learned a little bit. You know, I'll say this straight out the gate. If you just tell me like, oh, uranium, I think a bad thing. But it was interesting to actually deep dive and not just, you know, jump into the first sort of conclusion that I have about this. I think that's a good thing to do in general. Before you leave a comment or engage with the thing, it's pretty good to like just, you know, be like, hey, is this actually like an issue? Well, what's the situation here? Another music video that I have directed for James Marriott is released now. It's for his song Toothache. Here's some visuals of it on the screen as I'm talking. It's pretty cool. I'm really proud of that one. That's the one I'm the most proud of out of the ones I've worked on so far. Check it out if you want. Also, what do you think of my mustache? Is it good? Should I get rid of it? Like and subscribe to show your opinion about the mustache.